Welcome to 3 and 3. My name is Jason Weaver. Today we're going to be talking about core CPI, the Russian-Ukraine conflict and how it impacts commodities, and also quality stocks. So core CPI. Core CPI is the aggregate of prices paid by urban consumers for a typical basket of goods, and we exclude food and energy. Core CPI is widely used by economists because food and energy have very volatile prices. And February core CPI rose 6.4%. That's the highest we've seen since August of 1982. And as we look at the chart here, you can see that back in the 80s, CPI was even higher than it is today, but we're seeing this dramatic spike in now 2022. Also, as you look at what we're spending our money on, you can see that housing, transportation, and food are the predominant shares of what Americans spend their wages on. And the impact of transportation and food is going to be impacted because of what's happening in this conflict and with oil prices. As we look though back to history, 1980 and 2008, today is not the same as it was back then. The percentage of actually that we spend on energy is less today. We call that our wallet share. So back in 1980, it was 6.5% of our wallet share. In 2008, it was 4.5%. And today it's actually 2.49%. And even projecting it out further, if we see oil at 115 or even 200, it's still less than where it was in 2008 or 1980. Russia is a commodities powerhouse, producing and exporting materials around the world. They're 1/10 of the world's aluminum and copper, 1/5 of battery-grade nickel, 1/2 of the world's neon production for chips, and 1/3 of the world's wheat, corn, and meat. The invasion of Ukraine is constraining crucial supplies as Russia becomes increasingly isolated from the global economy and driving prices up in the process. As we look at where those goods are going, you can see the US gets their lion's share of palladium. In Europe, they're very exposed to gas prices. In UK, they're very exposed to platinum prices. And in Asia, it's the crude and also the sunflower oil that's impacting. So as we look at the second biggest oil exporter, it's definitely Russia, right behind Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and the US actually right behind them. Quality. The stock market is riddled with high inflation, monetary policy tightening as the Fed raises interest rates, and the Russia-Ukraine conflict. High quality stocks are widely favored to combat uncertainty. What are quality companies and their characteristics? Well, they have high, reliable profits, low debt, and sustainable earnings. And as you look at the maturation of the business cycle, typically size and value are the best as you're recovering. As you go through expansion, it's momentum. And now as we're slowing, quality and minimum volatility typically hold up better. And lastly, even through contraction, quality holds up very well. Thank you for joining us for 3 and 3.